Hello, everybody, and welcome to On a Die Podcast. This is the weekly DCTV Arrowverse podcast where we discuss everything Arrowverse. I'm your host, Declan McKinney. You may know me as the host of DC Central, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Dan McCance, otherwise known as Mulekick Media.
Hey, we've returned from our overlong absence.
We've returned from the caves to a pretty bad week. I guess we should slightly explain the absence. The last episode we uploaded was over a month ago, which was the one that I did with Commie Chris. Dan was on holiday at that point in time, and Dan was held hostage by a bunch of terrorists, and I've only just managed to conjure up the money to get him back. Dan has been back for a while, but this is actually my fault. I have been super busy as of late with life things, and I've not really been able to record. Like, you probably noticed as well, like, videos on the channel have not been as sporadic or have been more sporadic than they would normally be. It's just the way it's been. So, but we're back to come back just in time for the last couple of weeks of the shows. Well, I think we've got one more week of Arrow and Flash, and then a week after that for Supergirl and Legends, I think. Supergirl and Legends finish on the same week, so...
Yeah, because next week is Supergirl's, episode 20 for Supergirl, so it's still got 2 more weeks of Legends and Supergirl, which is yay.
As you could tell by our tone of voice and enthusiasm, this was not a good week. Even Arrow, which we often praise and that we like to talk about.
We usually give it far more credit most time than it deserves, but even this week it's just like
it was disappointing. But we'll get to that. But first we're gonna get into the news. No, we're not, because there's no news. Right, moving on. There literally isn't. There is no news. There is nothing.
Emily Bet Rickards is leaving Arrow.
Well, the thing is, we recorded an episode a couple of weeks ago, and due to my complete incompetence, I forgot to upload it. And
I even made the thumbnail.
Yeah, and we'll probably reuse that thumbnail. It's just as relevant here. But I forgot to upload it, and in that episode, we did talk about Emily Bet Rickards leaving. Do you want to talk about it here? I mean, we can do. If you want to just do it off the cuff.
Yes.
All right, Horst, go ahead.
Yes, it's just she's gone. Thank the fucking Lord. The show is saved. Give me Laurel as the main female character in season 5, not in season 5, God's sake. Season 8. Make her the main female lead. Give me Laura. Have them have a married couple in season 8. If you do that, Arrow writers, you get a fucking 11 out of 10. I don't give a shit how crap episode 16 was. I don't care. Just give me it. Just inject it into my veins.
And then we can have another Connor Hawke, who is the natural Connor Hawke.
Yes.
So we can have even more Connor Hawke confusion.
Yes, boys. And also, can we go back in time and unkill Bronze Tiger, because he's definitely going to die next week.
Yeah.
Do that as well, guys, please.
Rip Michael Jai White.
But yeah, she's finally gone. Thank the Lord.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. No. So, I mean, obviously Felicity has been a huge part of the show ever since the beginning, but she is leaving at the end of the season. I think it's pretty obvious that she's leaving when you look at where the season was going. I think, because we obviously saw in episode 16, we saw the flash forward scene where she gave birth to Mia, and in that scene she was in that house. And if you just did the maths from when we found out Felicity was pregnant, sort of midway through the season, and you go to there, it was pretty obvious that she had to get to that point by the time of the season 7 finale-ish.
Yeah.
And, with that, if you combine that with the knowledge we got of the flash forwards, which is that Felicity never left that house after Mia was born, you can kind of put the pieces together that she wouldn't have been around after this point. The only thing that confuses me is, from my maths, Felicity should be giving birth to Mia around the premiere of season 8, so I wonder if the season 7 finale, final scene, with the monitor, is going to be, like a flash forward kind of thing, like a time jump. Yeah. I imagine that's what the sort of situation is going to be. But also that means Felicity's going to die in the flash forwards next week. Way.
Yes.
So we finally get to see her die. It only took us 4 seasons, but we got there in the end.
Yes. The question is, will it be as satisfying as her death in, Legend Season 2 when Sarah snapped her neck? That was the most satisfying thing ever. If it is as satisfying as that, then kudos, Arrow.
What is satisfying in your head? Like, what do you think is the best possible option we could get?
To
get destroyed by the power of Hoss?
I think William doing it for leaving them. Just like,
William's
you
just a
fucking
salty
left
boy.
me. You left me. I'm a salty boy.
That would be very good. Or Hoss's wig suffocating her.
Hoss's wig comes to life. Yeah, that's a good one as well.
Hoss's wig is just angry for all that bad screen time it's gotten.
Yeah,
So it decides to kill a cast member.
Earth One's Laurel's tombstone kills her.
Oh yes. Earth One Laurel comes back from the dead in the flash forwards purely to kill her and then dies again. Oh my god.
Written by Mark Guggenheim.
Oh my god. But yes, Felicity is gone next season. It is going to be different. Like, season 8 is going to be incredibly different without her. I'm sure we're going to see her at some point. Like, I'm sure she's going to be in the finale, like the series finale. I'm sure we will see her. Right, especially if Oliver dies, we're going to see her. So, I don't think Felicity's entirely gone, but she's definitely left the series regular position. She's going to... she's recently got a position on Broadway. That's where she's gone to. I think she's a lead, isn't she? I think she's like the lead actress of like a Broadway show.
I think so. Yeah, from what we know.
So I mean, fair enough to Emily Bett-Ricard. She's doing very, very well. I am gonna miss her on the show, even though obviously we do have our complaints about Felicity around these parts. Overall, I do like Felicity. I'm gonna miss her. And season 8 is gonna feel very different without her. But again, when you look at where the story was going, it does kind of make sense. And yeah, it does mean like, because I was saying, I don't know if we were going to get like a big, because every season of Arrow we get like a big death. Like season 1 was Tommy, season 2 was Moira, blah blah blah. I was saying I wasn't sure we were actually going to get one in season 7 because I was like, because we already lost Curtis halfway through the season.
Unless it's our repeated prediction of Diggle.
Yeah. Well, actually, I actually thought Diggle actually died this week for a minute, but we'll get to that.
We're like, oh shit, we're actually right.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. But like, obviously, we lost Curtis halfway through the season, and we're losing Felicity. I thought we're probably... So I think, like you say, as we've said before, I think, the big death of the season is going to come in the flash forward, and it will be Felicity. Unless, we could get Emiko maybe in the present day, but I don't know if that counts as like a big death. That feels a bit more like a Samantha Clayton kind of thing. But yeah, also I'm meeting Emily Bett-Ricard in 2 weeks, so hey.
Yay.
And also, I guess other news I could bring up, I think we did bring this up in the unuploaded episode, is that the Monitor is showing up in the finales of Arrow and Supergirl. Obviously, the Monitor was the character who was in the Elseworlds crossover and is kind of setting up Crisis on Infinite Earths. So he is going to be in the final scene of the Arrow finale. We're going to see him appear to Oliver. So like that scene where Felicity's in that house, the Monitor is going to show up there. We don't really know what his purpose is, if he's just going to be warning Oliver about what's coming, or if he's coming to take up Oliver on the deal he made with him in Elseworlds. But he is going to show up there, and he's also going to show up on Supergirl's Earth as well, which I assume basically just means that he's going to cover, like, that's like talking to Oliver covers Earth 1, and then talking to Kara obviously covers Earth 38. So that's pretty cool. I like the fact that we are setting up like Crisis at the end of the series. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Does this mean though? Because I was thinking this. Do you think that next season for all the shows is going to open with Crisis? Do you think the crossover is the first thing we're going to get? Because it says, like, coming fall 2019. Normally, like, the crossover's in December, and I would class the crossover as winter.
Yeah, but the problem is, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
Because if they're setting it up in the finales, it'd make it seem like it was, like, the next thing. Like, it'd be like the tease saying, the crossover starts, the first week of all the shows.
I don't know. I mean, it depends when the shows come back, to be honest with you. I mean, if they come back early, then there's a fair chance that maybe if it lines up as the same as last year, then the crossover episodes might fall onto, in November, which would obviously still be fall.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe they could, but I wouldn't really put a bet on it just yet, just because I still think there's time. There's a chance that they could change it, because we've still got quite a few months. I reckon they probably even haven't finished, decided, or nowhere near finished even writing the crossover. So I don't really know, to be honest with you, because I reckon what they have to do is obviously all the writing staff have got to communicate with one another about this. So I don't really know, to be honest with you, but I probably would say no.
That's interesting. I think because obviously there is the big rumor that Oliver is going to die in Crisis, and
no.
I mean, if he dies if the crossover's like episode 9 again, it would make sense in a way to have if Oliver is going to die, to have him die in episode 9 and episode 10 is like a big funeral episode, and like they bring back everybody and stuff like that.
Nah. This man's been watching Endgame too many times. Look. If they're gonna
I've only seen it twice. I want to see it again.
I watched it a third time on Thursday. It's amazing. But for me, the way that they should end Oliver is, and this is spoilers for Endgame, Captain America. For me, when I watched Endgame and I saw the way they wrote him off, I'm like, that's what I want with Oliver, in the sense that everybody's like thinking, oh, he's going to die. But, he doesn't, and he has this catharsis. He has this chance to actually, have this normal life that, he's aspired to have for ages.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be the most satisfying way to kill off his character. If they killed him off, for me, it would just feel melodramatic.
Yeah.
That's the impression it would give to me. I mean, maybe there could be a way where killing him off would work, but for me personally, and I think a lot of other people would agree with me as well, it would just one, it would be way too predictable, and two, it'd just go against the whole message of the show, which is that Oliver, constantly trying to save his city. He's never been able to, to have a rest, to have that chance to have a normal life. So I feel like him being able to have that and walk away with that, once the show ends, I think is the best way to go about it. That's just for me personally. I know other people will probably have, different opinions for it, but for me, that's the way they should write Oliver off.
I'm just thinking, like, because by the way the flash forwards have gone, it seems very much like Oliver is dead. And also, how much of a normal life can he have if Felicity and Mia are like away?
It's because he's secretly gone off with Laurel. That's why
he's gone off with Laurel. And he's going to bring William back. He's going to go
exactly.
He's going to go and adopt William again.
See,
I becomes another stepmom for William.
Oh yeah,
that poor boy. Yeah. No wonder he's a salty boy. Yeah, he's had a rough life. He has had a rough life. That kid. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think, like, personally, I can see Oliver dying. I think it's a thing they could do. Especially because I've heard a really cool theory, right? And I want to see about your opinion on this. So obviously, if Oliver does die, Stephen Amell's done. What about if next season on The Flash, Stephen Amell plays the Red Death? Because they can't do Bruce Wayne, but they can do Oliver Queen.
They could, but
and in Elseworlds he wore the speedster suit. Is that them testing the waters?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because I don't know.
And it'd be like this thing where Barry, like, just saw Oliver die, and now he's like another version of him's back, and like an evil version that he has to kill now.
Could work. It could work, but I don't know. I think it depends on, Steve and what he'd want to do after Arrow ends. Maybe, he wants to go spend some time away with his family. So I don't really know, to be honest with you. It could happen, and it would be really cool and interesting, but I just think from a behind-the-scenes standpoint, I don't know whether that's the direction they would take.
Yeah, I think if they are going to do the Red Death on The Flash next season, I think they're going to make it like a character who we've seen. Like, I think it could be like an Eddie or something like that, rather than Oliver. I think it'd be awesome if it was Oliver. Like, that'd be like an amazing, like, to see Stephen Amell actually play the villain would be really cool. And like I say, it's Oliver Queen has always been the Bruce Wayne of the Arrowverse, so it would make sense in that way. But yeah, it's a bit more of a difficult one. Like, maybe if they come back and maybe if they don't do the Red Death next season, they do it in like a couple seasons. Maybe that'd be a bit more doable. Because because normally what the Flash does, obviously, and we said this when the Red Death was name dropped, is they name drop the next villain. Like they name dropped DeVoe in season 3 and stuff like that. And in this season they name drop the Red Death, but it still might not come until another couple of until like it gets to like season 7, season 8, something like that. Because I'm pretty sure the Flash is going to keep going for quite some time. Like, I'm pretty sure the Flash will outrun, no pun intended, Arrow.
Yeah, definitely. I think it will. Yeah. To be honest, just because with that 2024, that they have that goal to work towards.
Yeah, unless they are changing it, because this year, obviously, that's the theory, isn't it? Like, that it's been moved forward, possibly because of Nora or whatever, or because of Elseworlds, it's been changed, which I think is likely. I think this Crisis thing I think that is it. But we're going to see it slightly different.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the news. And yeah, he's going to be on Supergirl as well. There's nothing else to say. Although apparently Lex Luthor is going to die in the finale, apparently, of Supergirl.
Where have you heard this from?
Well, the set photos of the Monitor from Supergirl have been the Monitor like standing over Lex's body.
Oh, come on! Why are they killing off all the good villains?
Yeah.
They're fucking up all the good villains. Fuck this
Lex
show, man.
Lex Luthor is the best thing that has happened to Supergirl in a long time. If they kill him off, I'm going to be so upset. He should be like the full season 5 villain because he's so good.
But no, they're going to kill him off because, like,
and, you know, we
have
to eat our words as well, me and you, because we have.
We didn't say that John Cryer was going to be bad. We said that the photo looked bad.
Was meme worthy.
Was meme worthy, not the performance. Because when I saw that promo for the episode, I thought, oh, he's actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I love John as Lex. I honestly do. I think he's brilliant. Like he's one of my favorite Lexes in a long time. Probably since sort of Michael Rosenbaum, that kind of time. He's very good. But anyway, speaking of Supergirl, let's jump into the review of episode 20. Will the real Miss Tessmacher please stand up?
I hate that title.
It's so bad. That's something that I would expect the Flash to have.
Yeah.
Like the Flash normally does titles like that. I would not expect Supergirl, especially because Supergirl's had like such standoffish titles this season. That's not what I'd expected. It does kind of link back into the episode, but whatever.
Fuck this.
So Kara and Lena head to Chechnya? No, Kaznia. Kaznia, that's the one.
I thought you were about to say Cheshire. I'm like, stop trying to link your hometown.
They came to see me. They went to Kaznia to try and look into what Lex has been doing and to look into their whole Red Daughter situation. Now, what I actually liked about all this was Kara actually got a little bit of development in a way here, which
finally
is something that is very, very sparse. But she actually came across really scared in this episode.
Yeah, but I think mainly because of the fact like she sees that how this could have easily happened to her. It was a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is what created Red Daughter. And I think it's more scary for the fact of how with all of this, what it's led to Red Daughter becoming. I thought that was really good, and like you say, like we actually got some fucking development with the main character of this show, which is like the biggest rarity. It's never happened at all, mate. She's never fucking developed as a character.
Yeah, so it was really good because, like you say, she was literally having this thing where she was thinking, like, I literally could have been this version. I could have landed in Kaznia and during the Cold War and got trained to be like this ultimate weapon. It's just that she happened to land in Kansas with with Alex and all that. Mm-hmm. That she ended up being Supergirl. So I did like that. She actually seemed scared and actually seemed concerned and actually like empathetic as well.
Yeah.
Towards her, like it wasn't like Rain where she kind of was like, even though with Rain she did kind of have the separation, it was like, oh, we still have to take her out. Whereas with this one, it's just like she's no other way. Like this is just how she's grown up. And I like that because like even Lena was like, oh, it's an it, and she's like, oh, it's not an it, like it's another person. I have to say though, they've really glossed over how she was created. Like I understand now, obviously, it's the Higher that splits Kryptonians, but they've really glazed over that. Like they're not really explaining it really well. I get it, like I understand the premise, but it's just like I thought it was gonna be something a bit bigger than that. Like at the end of the season 3 finale, when like she time traveled, I thought, okay, this is gonna be like a Flash situation.
Yeah, but instead it was like, no, it was to do with the the Marinel device, which it's just they've just done such a poor job of clearly explaining how she was how she came to be.
Yeah,
like you'd think it'd be something so simple, but no, it's just like it's almost like they try to really dodge the question because they just think their audience is that dumb that they won't understand.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, really. What I also liked about this whole storyline was how Kara was kind of really struggling to keep her identity in this episode with Lena, because like they have all those scenes where she has to keep running away and coming back, and like when she's trying to save the plane and stuff like that. Really good moments, and you could see she was actually really struggling and getting a bit stressed with all that. And we literally almost get the reveal. Like we almost get it.
It should have happened. It
should have happened.
They messed up big time. Again.
Yeah, it should have happened. Do you know what would have been perfect is because obviously the reason why she doesn't reveal to Lena is because Lena at that specific moment is talking about how she's been betrayed by Eve and how she'll never get over it, she'll never recover from it, blah blah blah, and how Kara is like her only true friend. Kara should have still revealed, and then Lena would have gone off on one, teamed up with Lex, and there are season 5 villains. Boom.
It's like, that's exactly what they should have done, but it's like, it's frustrating. It is frustrating because it's like they dragged it out for so long. Like, it's just to the point where I don't even feel like there's going to be any real proper reward at the end of it. It's just, they should have revealed it in season 3. They should have revealed it in this fucking episode, but they won't. They'll stretch it out to season 5. I know what they're like.
Yeah.
They'll just try and make it go on for as long as humanly possible.
It's strange because like Lena is like the only person now, like the only main cast member who doesn't know. Well, I guess Alex doesn't know anymore, but you know. But she was the first. But like Lena's the only one now who doesn't. Like even Nia knows. She's known Nia for like only this season, and she knows. Like the fact that Lena doesn't, I just find that really weird, given the fact that Lena is meant to be like her best friend. But I did like that story. I thought that was pretty good. And it is going to build up to like the Red Daughter fight, which we're going to get next episode. Like, I mean, finally, but still. Does it surprise you that it's taken this long to get to Red Daughter properly?
Yeah, because of like when they said originally like, oh, Red Daughter's not going to be a big part of the first half of the season, I'm like, but then it's like she really hasn't come into the forefront until like episode 15 or 16.
Yeah, and even then,
and it's like
episode 15 was really good when we got like her origin, but like she still hasn't really done anything until she like came down to the White House, and that was pretty much it. So. Yeah. It doesn't really surprise me.
It is frustrating because it's like obviously it has picked up in the back half, so you just kind of wish, well, why had you not done this earlier?
Yeah,
that's the more frustrating part of it.
Yeah, especially when you look at like what they've done with Ben Lockwood now in the back half, which we'll get to.
Fuck no.
We'll get to that, but like the one good thing we had in the first half of the season was Ben Lockwood and the Children of Liberty, and now where that's kind of evolved into for the back half, it's a bit annoying. But Alex is continuing with her adoption storyline in this episode. She's talking about she's found this mother who is willing to give up her baby at birth. And I have to say, I say this pretty much every week when I review Supergirl. Charlie is she's great.
Best character.
Best character on the show. Best actress. She's really strong. Pairing her with Kelly as well, James' sister, who has it's been a weird inclusion having her in the back because she just kind of came in. Now she's like a series regular all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I knew she was a series regular for season 5, but I didn't know she was for this season. I don't know if she even is for this season, but she's just in. I
think she's only listed as recurring, but it's like they're really trying to ram.
They basically just paid her for the last 5 episodes.
Yeah,
it's strange because like I knew obviously because I reported on it as well. I was like, yeah, she's a series regular for season 5, but I didn't expect her to be this heavy in the back half. I do like her though. She's fine.
Yeah. Except they're clearly trying to force a relationship between her.
Yeah,
and
that was very obvious. I mean, there's a particular moment when there's a moment you can see it where Kelly talks about that past relationship she had with that other officer who was also female, and there's literally a moment where the camera cuts to Alex and you can see like her eyebrow raise. And it's like literally like so yeah, obviously they are trying to put this relationship between Alex and Kelly. I don't know how James is going to feel about that, but we'll see. But the writers don't care about James. They're not going to give him an opinion.
No, they don't give a fuck about James.
James isn't allowed opinions. So, but I have to say,
if he tries to have an opinion, they'll just play that amazing gangster rap music from that amazing season 3 episode over him.
Best episode of the show. But yeah, the storyline was it's not like a big part of the episode. It's just Charlie was really good in it, and that was it. She doesn't get the baby in the end because she wanted to keep it. Whatever.
So basically, the whole storyline was kind of pointless. But
yeah, but Charlie did some good acting, so that's always nice to see. Now let's talk about the real meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Ben Lockwood.
Fuck this show. You fucked up the best part of the first half of this season, you idiots.
So disappointing with what they've done with this character. Like, Ben Lockwood was the best part of the show in the beginning. He was like the one shining light we had. And, you know, I still profess this, but episode 3 of the season, not only is it the best episode of the season, I still think it's the best episode of the show, period. that was obviously the Ben Lockwood origin episode. Really good stuff. And I really love the fact that, you know, the Children of Liberty were this realistic, grounded threat for Supergirl to face. As soon as we hit the back half, Ben Lockwood all of a sudden is Secretary of State. He's working for the president. He's now in the DEO. And the Children of Liberty are all officially deputized, like, lawmen. What? And, like, in this episode, they just take Ben Lockwood and make him go against everything he stood for. You know, Ben Lockwood has been all about getting rid of the aliens, getting rid of all the potential threats that come from, you know, these superhuman powers. So what does he do? He gives himself superpowers. Ridiculous.
This is clearly it's almost like the writers just they can't have multiple threats. They've run out of ideas, and they just simply cannot write multiple threats like at once. They can't write like tons of villains at the same quality because it's just so obvious. Like they're trying to give, you know, all the thought process and all the main attention to Red Daughter, and it's like with Ben Lockwood, it's like, oh fuck, let's just do this, even though they don't. It's just clear they don't give a shit about it. They're not actually fucking looking at what they've written, like, because it's so awful.
Yes,
and it's a shame because Sam Witwer is an amazing actor.
Witwer's so good.
Amazing. It's like he's making this shit dialogue that he's been given somewhat good because of his acting, but it's like it's been really upsetting to watch just because it's like you had such a great potential antagonist and now you've just completely reduced him to a joke of himself.
Yeah, because he was so strong. Like, he was so good at the beginning of the season. And like you say, Sam Witwer is trying his best to make this work, but like, so he takes the serum that James took, because James also has powers now. Which, if you remember on the podcast a few weeks ago, I predicted that. I called that. So I'm taking that.
So did everyone else.
No, it was just me. I'm taking it. It was great, you know, and I can boast with it that I said James was going to get powers, and he did. But he basically has the same powers as James, which is basically just... What is James' power? Is he just super strong? Is that what it is? Is that all it is?
As far as I'm aware,
That's what it looks like. Because he can, like, throw stuff, and he can also... He seems to be, like, a bit more resistant. That seems to be what... And Ben Lockwood seems to have the same thing. Like, he lobbed a bloody truck at him or something. I really don't like the direction. I don't like what they've done here. His son in this episode's, like, you know, just turning his back on him and stuff like that. Not the worst kid actor of the CW.
No, there have been plenty worse.
Yeah, he's not a Ruby. Oh, that's a blast from the past. When are we going to get her back as a guest appearance?
Oh, fuck now.
God. So yeah, it's disappointing. I don't like the direction. And also, what was really odd is the end scene of this, where, like, you know, you have all the sort of super friends out taking on Ben Lockwood, and then John just shows up at the end
out of nowhere.
Like, he literally, because John has been gone for ages. He went to Mars, and now he's come back, and then it's just like he just comes back. He just lands, and he's like it's just like, put your weapon down. And it's like, oh, hi, John. I didn't know you were back on Earth. He was literally, the last time we saw John, he was on Mars destroying that staff thing, and now he's just back. And it was like, because obviously he wasn't in episode 19 because David Harewood directed that episode, and now he just shows up. It's like, okay, fine, okay, whatever. Yeah, not good, not a good direction.
Bullshit.
The episode overall, it was good, but it wasn't great. Like, it was all right. One of the weaker of the back.
It was all right. I remember you saying in your review, "Oh, it was good," and then whenever you come to me and you talk about the episode, it's like, "Oh, yeah, I disagree with my opinion."
I disagree. I can never agree with myself. Oh yeah, and then Kara gets captured at the end. Ooh, big twist. It's Red Daughter. They don't even try to hide the fact it's Red Daughter because it's clearly a cape. So, but whatever. It was all right, I suppose. It was okay. Now, I guess what do you want to do with Legends? Legends is next up.
Oh, fucking hell. Look, everybody...
Go on.
Like, everybody who's watching this, like, You'll probably have gotten the general vibe from us two about this season. We think it's absolute fucking garbage. It actually, if it continues on as it is, it could actually be worse than Arrow season 4. And I'm surprised that there's an actual chance that is the case.
Yeah.
Honestly, this episode,
after this episode, if we weren't so close to the end, if we weren't 2 episodes off the ending, like thank God this season's only 16 episodes. If we weren't so close, I would stop watching after this episode. Honestly, this episode finished me off.
It's like it's just shit. It's like Gary has an evil nipple, and it's like
that was where it lost me. Like,
as soon as that happened, I'm like, all right, this is fucking bullshit. Like I remember
when the nipple had the eye, I was like, I'm done.
I paused the episode, and I'm like, why am I still watching this?
Yeah, do you remember the tweet I put out a couple of days ago where I put I'm effing done with Legends?
Yeah,
that was an immediate response to
as soon as I saw the scene, I'm like, now I know what Declan means with this tweet.
Yep, that was I tweeted that immediately after I saw Gary's nipple. I was like, no, I'm done. Do you want to know how bad this episode was? Right? Do you remember I texted you about a few hours ago, and I said, "Oh, I'm just gonna watch Legends." I'd already watched it. I forgot. Literally, I went on 123 Movies. I went on Legends of Tomorrow, and it was like, "Oh, latest episode, Nip Stuck." I was like, "I've seen that one." I completely forgot. Like that felt like it was a week ago, but no. Apparently I am up to date, and I was like, "Oh right, okay, sound." Anyway, so the Legends get stuck in an avalanche for some reason.
Because they needed to save budget for this episode.
Yeah, we needed a bottle episode. So there we go. We're stuck there. I need to officially say that Mick has been ruined as a character. Because he doesn't do anything anymore. Mick has done nothing this season.
Yeah, he's just there to be angry, drink beer, and like take the piss out of people.
He gets like 2 lines per episode.
I know.
2 lines. Like literally
like,
2 lines.
Remember how good a storyline he had in season 2, but it was with him and Captain Cold and him getting over Captain Cold stuff. What happened to that Mick? Where's that Mick gone? That was like Mick like being an actual fucking great character, and now it's
Mick.
Yeah.
And now Mick is just like, he literally is there, like you say, to be background noise and just to like say a line every now and then, like a little like one-liner. And it's like, and in this episode they try and give him something where it's like, oh, I made the call, but it's like it's not earned because you've done nothing this entire season. It's ridiculous. I feel bad for just all the cast on the show. So I guess obviously we should do a little recap as well. So Neron has officially taken over Ray's body. He's using Ray's body as a host. So Constantine is taking Ray off to this other time period. I wasn't really paying much attention. I'm sure you can tell. He took him off to this snowy place with these Vikings or whatever it was, and we got to see Constantine's ancestor. I actually didn't hate this part of it, like, because it actually felt relevant to the story.
Yeah.
And like seeing like Matt Ryan play like, you know, his ancestor was kind of cool. So like I didn't actually hate this stuff. Like it was all right because it wasn't like filled with jokes. It actually fed into the story of the whole season, which is the whole Neron thing. And it turns out that Constantine's kind of responsible for everything that's going on. So okay, cool, fair enough. And then we had the Time Bureau stuff with Gary. I don't remember why Gary was acting that way. Do you remember why? Do you remember what happened?
Oh, why he was siding with
why he went all sexy.
Oh, why he went all sexy? I have no clue. I don't think even the writers could give us an answer for that.
I mean, there is a reason. I just don't remember it.
I honestly don't remember either. Like honestly, when I was watching this episode, kind of just so amused by how awful it was. It was just I struggled genuinely to like focus in on key plot points because I'm just like, it's so fucking awful. Yeah,
it's not even like fun either. Like
it's not so bad it's good. It's just
bad. It's so bad terrible. It's sad.
Yeah,
and it's like this whole Time Bureau thing where it's just like, you know, Gary's. I hate what they've done to Gary as well. Like,
yeah, it's like they've made him way too like, because we always said like we like Gary in small.
Yeah, he was funny in season 3 when he came in like every now and then, and it was just like this funny little thing that popped up. But in season 4, he's basically been a regular.
Yeah, even though he's technically not a regular somehow.
Yeah, and he just shows up, and it's just like he's in like every episode, and it's just like, because the problem is the Time Bureau has been such a big thing because we've had like Nate as a member of the Bureau. Oh yeah, Nate and Zari are officially together now. Well, hey.
Wow, yay.
Talk about forced relationships.
Fuck this show. It's shit. It's awful.
Thing is, I don't hate like them together. It's just so
it's so random, it's forced. I don't feel like there's that a lot of chemistry with the two of them.
No. It's literally like, we need a relationship, let's put them together. Like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, because there's been no inkling. Like, I think I don't know if I said this on the unreleased episode, but it reminded me of, like, Avengers Age of Ultron when they did the Bruce Banner, Natasha Romanoff thing, where it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, there were, like, little subtle hints in the first Avengers, kind of, but nothing, like, substantial that made me go, like, oh, this completely makes sense. It reminds me of that. Like, it's just kind of come out of nowhere. Or like on Friends when Joey and Rachel got together. Like, it's all these things where it's just like, why are you doing it?
Why?
It serves no purpose to the story, and it serves no purpose to the characters, because it's just, Zari is a really cool character on her own. Nate is a really cool character on his own. You don't need to put them together to like make, you know, a really good character, because they're both established. Because usually what will happen is, with these things is, when a character gets a new love interest, it's normally a new character, and they do it because that new character then gets to share screen time with an already established character, and, you know, the audience is more receptive to do that. But with this, like, both of the characters have been around. Like, Nate's been around since season 2, Zari's been around since season 3. We don't need that connection. Like, you know, to give it like an example, like, you know, like Ava last season, she was a new character, but they put her with Sarah. You know, so it makes sense, but like with this, it just makes no sense at all. Again, I don't hate the relationship itself. It's just I hate the fact they've done it. It makes no sense. It's forced and stupid, and that's all I have to say about Legends.
Fuck this show. It's awful. Let's move on. Let's just
honestly,
not talk about.
Like I said, if we weren't so close to the end of the season, I would stop watching after this episode.
Yeah, easily.
I'm putting my foot down now. And it's literally only because we have 2 episodes left I will keep watching, and if season 5 does not improve at all, I'm done with Legends. Like, what are the characters of Legends going to be like when they show up in Crisis? Are they even going to be in Crisis? Because I don't know if they can be. They haven't fought in ages. They haven't wore their suits. Like, they're going to be completely out of shape, and it's just like, seriously, they are. And like, how are they going to do that? And then on top of that, like, they're going to show up, and then, because they're going to have to be, like, really serious in Crisis. And I'm not going to buy that.
Yeah. God, I don't know.
Pathetic.
Pathetic, mate. Just let's just move on. Let's just move on.
You have lost the fans tonight.
Nate, you have lost the fans tonight. You got the job on the technicality of a legend who recommended you. You're nothing. You're a fool. And you're a waste of time. Good night. Move on.
And we will to The Flash, Season 5, Episode 21, the penultimate episode of the season. The Girl with the Red Lightning, a bit of a misleading title, but okay.
Incredibly misleading title.
So, Cicada is at it again, trying to
Wow, I don't give a fuck. It's like, it's like, oh, Cicada, I don't give a fuck about...
I had a moment watching this episode last night with Cicada, where, when she attacks Sherlock and Renee, and the rest of Team Flash show up, and she flies off. Like,
oh no!
I saw that and I was like, "Are we still doing this? Is this still happening? Where she just flies off? Like, have we not gotten over this yet? Like, literally, this is episode 21. 10 episodes ago, I was complaining about this. Are we still doing it? Have they not learned?
We don't understand. You don't understand, Declan. The dagger is basically Mjolnir. You can basically do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Oh my god. Anyway, this episode wasn't actually terrible. It was okay. It was fine. So Nora basically realizes that she has a connection to Cicada 2. Also, can I just say, the fact they're actually calling her Cicada 2 is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just retarded.
It's so stupid. But she realizes she has a connection to Cicada. That's a better name, Cicada. And she can basically use that to, basically track her. But also Cicada can, like, feel her when she's, like, connected to us or whatever. So it's a bit of a bad thing. But she needs to find this piece of technology which can disperse the newly weaponized metahuman cure and basically kill all the metahumans in the world. It's not just Central City; it's the world now.
Oh, how original! Oh, yay!
How long do you think it's going to take before we get a lightning beam?
Oh, definitely. She's going to answer in the finale, and we're going to get a lightning beam.
Every Flash finale has had a sky portal, so I'll be very disappointed if we don't have one in this season. No, I will give you props, writers, if we go one season without one. I have to say that like the hyperconduit thing, like trying to steal that. I have to say there's a really good scene with Cisco actually. Because the hyperconduit comes from this guy who like Cisco was roommates with in college. And you find out in the future he's like the super big tech billionaire, and it's only because of Cisco. And like Cisco's that was a good scene. I'll give it that. Yeah, that was a good Cisco scene. But yeah, she's trying to find it and all this. My problem with all this is right. You know when Ralph comes in and Ralph has like this idea where he's like, none of this is adding up. Why does no one listen to him? Why is no one listening to Ralph? Like,
I know they're
people seem to forget that Ralph's a detective.
It's like if you're a new member of this team, basically you are shunned upon by everyone. That's just how it goes now.
Unless you're Nora.
Yeah, it's just I don't get it because like he was making such fucking good points, but because the writing for this show is so stupid at times, all the characters have to be made to look like dumbasses.
Yeah, and like I mean, we were really praising Ralph at the beginning of the season. And like in this episode, like you say, he was making good points, and like what he was saying was right, and then it's just like everyone's like, "Shut up, Ralph." Like literally, I'm pretty sure Barry even says like "Shut up, Ralph" at one point. Yeah, and it's like, and then in the end of the episode, like he's right. Like what he says turns out to be true, and it's just like people seem to forget that Ralph's a detective.
Yeah, oh, God,
Ralph is a professional detective.
Like, but even the characters have forgotten about that, and the writers have.
Oh yeah. It's just like no, he's just stretchy boy, and that's it. And he doesn't even do much stretching these days, because we don't have the budget for that. So yeah, this whole thing trying to stop Cicada, like it was fine. It gets to the point where Cicada shows up and they have a little fight, and then she's about to do something. Like Barry's about to isn't Barry about to destroy the dagger, and Ralph has to like stop him, and that's where it ends. We have a cliffhanger ending. Ooh,
yay. Yay.
It's the finale.
Yay.
So Ralph was right, because Ralph is the MVP of the show. No, that's Mr. Joe West. And speaking of Mr. Joe West, he actually got something to do in this episode, which was really nice to see. He is basically taking control of CCPD to let all the metahumans come in and stay. Do you think they're setting up Joe to become captain?
Definitely. He's definitely becoming captain.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. After everything he's been through on the show and in real life, he deserves it.
Unless he dies first.
He just deserves to put his feet up.
He does. He deserves to be honest, Jesse L. Martin deserves better than this. He's such a good actor. He deserves better than this. But it was nice to actually see Joe getting something to do, like actually being involved in the story and actually getting some he gets a bit stressed out in this episode. And I liked all that, just to have Joe, because we went quite a while this season with no Joe, and then when we got him back, it felt great. But to actually have him in this episode doing something was nice. So yeah, there was that, and then you got Sherlock and Renee.
Yeah. Completely forgot she existed, to be honest.
So we get to see what her powers are. She's basically just got the most generic power ever that you can do on TV, which is basically what Damien Dark had. She's like, she basically just got telekinesis.
She has the Force.
She has the Force. And yeah, so there's that. She goes off to another Earth at the end of the episode because Sherlock basically says, "Yeah, you need to be protected, so you can go to this random Earth. I'll find you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'll come back and get you later." So there's that. Yeah.
Yay. Can we talk about that end scene where they basically try to reenact the fucking Deadpool scene from X-Men Origins Wolverine, where she's fucking where she's using the dagger to block Joe's bullets? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, that was like ultimate cringe. That was when I was like, all right, this season just isn't that good.
You know what the thing is? This episode's difficult to talk about. It's not even like I don't have the energy for it, which it is that, but also like this episode is all build up, and it's build up to nothing. Because it builds up, and then it's just because it's building up to the thing where we have this fight with Cicada, and then it doesn't happen because it cuts out, and it's like, oh, see you next episode, and it's like, ugh. So it's build up to nothing, And the build-up itself isn't that interesting.
No, it's like I don't care about this fucking metahuman bomb. It's like such an unoriginal idea. Something that kills all metahumans. Yay!
I cannot believe that Chris Klein is back.
Neither can I. I thought we'd actually got rid of him, and it was like they ended him off with his character actually being okay, and now it's like he's just back as fucking Ghost Daddy.
Yeah, he's come back as a Force ghost. We have
But
American Pie
but
back as a Force ghost.
of course, he still has to use that fucking stupid monotone voice he has to put on.
Even when he's not Cicada, he's still using that voice. You know, I was in HMV the other day, and I burst out laughing because I saw I found American Pie on Blu-ray, and I saw Chris Klein on the box, and I just started thinking about Cicada quotes, and I just burst out laughing in the middle of HMV, and someone looked at me a bit funny, but you know, this is what Cicada's done. You know, such a bad villain. And you know what the point? You know what's so weird as well? We know next episode it's just gonna be about Eobard Thawne.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's been the point of Cicada? Do you know what it is as well? Because we all said that obviously Cicada is not a full season villain, and clearly what has happened is they wanted to do Eobard Thawne in the back half, but they didn't want to make sure that the fans were right. So they were like, oh, we have to stretch Cicada out, so let's make her jump all over the place and let's make it a woman like halfway through, which I still don't understand like why they made that decision necessarily to make Grace come back from the future. Like they explained it by her using the time sphere, but it's just odd. And yeah, Eobard, his thorns, his plan is like finally sort of coming together. This season.
This season's just it's just bullshit, man. It's some bullshit. The Flash is, like I say, the Flash is now gonna go fucking how long now? I'm trying to do the math in my head now because I'm not very good with it. It's now gonna go 3 seasons without one that I can classify as good/great. Season 3, not great. Season 4, certainly not great. Season 5, fucking nowhere near great.
Terrible.
Like it's like even Arrow has not managed this. Legends hasn't managed this. Supergirl. We'll see with Supergirl.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, it's just so frustrating because it's like we always think, oh, maybe they're making the right decisions to like give us a better season, but then they just go the complete opposite direction. They mess everything up. It's just been the same story for the past 3 seasons. And it's just annoying now because like you say, it's so obvious that they wanted Eobard to be the main villain, but it's like they just thought, oh, we might subvert the audience expectations by just having these fucking this father and daughter villain, except they were so poorly written and developed that we're all just clamoring for Eobard. And it's like by the time you fucking give him to us, it's on the very last episode. I don't know. It's just it's annoying. It's really annoying.
Yeah, just a bit. Let's hope for a stronger season 6. I am hopeful for season 6 because we do have a new showrunner.
Thank the Lord.
So,
but the sad thing is, next week's episode is written by Todd Helbig, so Lord save us.
Oh, the great Todd Helbig who wrote episode 14. That just proves it to me that we need a new showrunner. Is the fact the showrunner himself wrote the worst episode of the season. Like Jesus. Anyway, let's just scrape that off the bottom of the shoe and let's go to Arrow. Also the penultimate episode 21, Living Proof. Tommy's back.
Yay.
This is the most positive episode of the bunch.
The most positive, even though there are things, but it's still disappointing because it's like when you think about previous Arrow episodes, they've always had pretty strong penultimate episodes. This was the first one where I don't feel like it was very strong.
Yeah. I will get onto my thoughts in regards to that because I do have quite a few thoughts to say the least.
It's got a certain cameo that he wants to talk about.
Huh?
You've got a certain cameo you want to talk about.
Yeah.
A lookalike.
Yeah. We'll get to that. I'm very proud of that. So Oliver was trapped under a bunch of rubble after episode 20, which episode 20 was. I quite liked episode 20 actually. And Roy is back now. My boy Roy, he's back. So that's always a nice little comfort for me. So just to have Roy back on the show. But yeah, Oliver's trapped under this rubble, so of course he's going to hallucinate, and we get to see Tommy again. I did like these scenes with Oliver and Tommy, even though they kind of have inconsistencies in regards to like what Oliver is told and what he can see. But Tommy, you always get good dialogue between Oliver and Tommy in these moments, and you always get good like chemistry between Stephen and Colin. So I did enjoy these scenes, like just having Tommy there, because Tommy's such a good character, and like every time he comes back, it's always great because he's always there just to like basically just kick Oliver up the arse, basically.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy having Tommy there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always just nice to have Colin Donnell back because he's one of those where it's just always nice to have him back. You know, no matter what the reasoning is behind it, and just I really liked having him back.
And also, he's left Chicago Med now, so we might actually get him some more in season 8, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because I don't think for a fact he'll be back as a series regular for season 8, because I've seen already some fans saying, "Oh, that's going to happen," like it's not. But I think, given that he's now left, I think there is a very good chance that he could appear, whether it be at some point in the season 8, maybe the finale.
Yeah,
maybe.
It'd be awesome. Like, I mean, obviously, there has always been the theory, and I've always said this as well, but like maybe for the final season of Arrow, they should have like Tommy as the villain as like the Dark Archer. But that's not. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the season 8 villain is just going to carry on. Basically, I think it's just going to be like the Ninth Circle.
Yeah. What if they got him in for the crossover and he's like he's from another Earth, like the Dark Archer from another Earth.
Earth 2 Tommy.
Yeah.
Still need to get that from good old Laurel, but I enjoyed having Tommy there. Now the rest of the team is going around this like destroyed bunker, like looking for Oliver. Now this was a weird moment because Roy goes and like basically sacrifices himself, which is coming a bit of a plot device.
Oh yeah.
Like Roy basically feels like he's in debt to Team Arrow constantly now. So he's like jumping at any conclusion to kill himself.
Except he's alive in the future, so we know nothing happened.
Yeah, so he like jumps into like this gas to try and like save everyone. And
it's like no! It's like what we don't. It's like that's what it's like.
What
it's like
that?
That's like an impression of Dinah when she's screaming at Roy when he jumps.
We need to talk about Dinah.
Fuck Dinah
is a big problem.
Can she just go? Like, who actually likes this character and the way she is?
She is. I mean, she's been inconsistent this entire season, but this episode,
this entire
alone,
fucking show,
yeah, even in season 6, but like in this episode, my God, like literally the scene before Roy's moment, she's like, "Oh, we shouldn't have covered it up. I'm going to lose my job and we're going to lose our reputation and Roy has only been here for a short time, blah, blah, blah." And then as soon as Roy jumps in the thing and she starts like crying over him, I'm like, you've only known him for like a week. And like, because in episode 20, right, like Felicity, you know, like when she's interrogating Felicity, like Felicity brings up a good point, even though they're both acting at this point. Like it makes it like Felicity makes a good point where she's like, you know, last time Roy was here, you weren't exactly on speaking terms with us, which is true. Like Dinah wasn't like she never met Roy until literally last week. So like the fact that she's like super emotional already, it's like what?
It just doesn't make sense. Like again, the writers, they're just shit at writing her character. She might as well just go.
Also, can I speak about a great moment from episode 20 where Renee's like, "Oh, this Roy guy's only been here 5 minutes. Why we like defend him?" And Oliver's just like, "He's a bigger part of this team than you'll ever be."
Yeah,
I love that.
Shade, boy.
That's great because Oliver just hates Renee, and I love it. But yeah, like Dinah, she's just such a big problem. And after Roy like comes back out from the gas and he's fine, like they give Roy and Dinah like this moment of reconciliation where even Roy was like, "Oh, I thought you hated me," and then Dinah's like, "No, I can't hate you. I've not known you." We're just like, okay, fair enough. But the only reason they did that was because it's clear that Roy and Dinah are quite close in the future. Like we've seen
so
that.
They had to.
Yeah, they have to like make them tight, basically. And it's just like, again, it just feels forced and feels fake. It doesn't feel real. And just Dinah is such an inconsistent character. It's annoying. So that's bad. That was bad. But
how's she the Black Canary? How's she the Black Canary? How's she the Black Canary at this point?
I'm confused, like for next season, because if Laurel's coming back next season, up next episode as the Black Canary, and then we have Dinah also as the Black. Are we just gonna have 2 Black Canaries? Is that what's gonna happen, or is Dinah gonna like retire again?
Please, can she just retire? Can she just go off somewhere?
Yeah. And because she's still the Black Canary in the future. Well, they have the Canaries, don't they? So I don't know.
Canaries,
exactly.
yeah.
And Laurel is also a part of that, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what they do next episode. Now, Felicity and Elena are also like the SCPD come to arrest Felicity because Emiko leaked the footage of Roy killing the cops, killing the guards. So, I mean, what even was this bit? Like, it's barely in the episode. Like, she just she shows up at the place and there's cops there, and then it's just like, oh yeah, you're under arrest, and then they just kind of like run off. They just kind of. But this is basically like set up for the flash forwards where we get to see Ellen DeGeneres show up. Honestly, I was so proud of that tweet. Like, we actually get another character cameo in the flash forwards. We get Elena. Why is Elena such a big part of this show?
I don't know. Like, who was asking for this?
Yeah, who asked for this? Like, literally, when she showed up in season 5, everyone was like, another Felicity. And it's just like, and in season 6, she was barely in it, which she was actually in season 5 more than she was in season 6, which surprised me, given the fact season 6 we dealt with Helix and Caden James.
Yeah.
And then in this season, like, she's been such a big part of it in the back half, and it's like, do you know what my fear is as well? I guarantee you this happens. She's going to become, like, the new Felicity next season.
No, we don't need this.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm sorry, but it is.
It's not happening, fam. Not on my fucking dead body.
And we know now that she is the one who gave Galaxy 1 Archer. So she's a traitor as well.
Traitor.
See, that's... Oh my god. That's a blast from the past. But the thing is, having Elena... If they put Elena on the team, this is such a bad idea because... Again, with the flash forwards being problematic, we know that she is a traitor in the future, so we're never going to trust her. We're never going to, like, care about her. So, what's the point? I mean, I don't know why I'm getting so hot and ale about this. There's been no confirmation that she's actually in next season at all, but it's just lining up. That's just the way it's going. But yeah, Ellen DeGeneres, that wig, not good. What is it with the flash forwards and their like makeup?
The
and
wigs, it's almost like they run out of budget when it gets to the flash forwards. Like, oh fuck, let's just do what we can.
Like they've literally just made her really short hair blonde, and yeah, like Dinah's got like basically the same hair with like a bit of grey in it. Roy's basically got a bit of stubble. Felicity looks no different. Like literally, Felicity looks no different. So it's
but they can't though, because otherwise it would anger the Fifi fans.
Where has this come from? This Fifi thing? I've like seen this like recently. Has this like
because
always been a thing?
No, this is what the Olystes call Fifi. They call Felicity Fifi. That's how it is.
God's sake. But I did actually like the flash forwards a little bit because we did actually get William getting some development. He hasn't had that all season, so that was nice. Like he actually gets to like have it out with Felicity a bit. Basically just saying like, you left me, which is, fair. I feel bad for William, like I actually do. Like, he's had a bad life. And
he's had a shit upbringing.
He really has, and it's just like, and I also feel bad for the character because like he was supposed to be the leader of this thing, and now he's just been like shoved aside ever since Mia and Felicity came in, and it's like, oh great. I honestly I feel bad for William. But it was nice to actually get some stuff with him, I guess. But it's kind of cut short because it doesn't really go anywhere, so great. And other than that, so then we move into like the finale setup, or lack thereof. So like Oliver is like, the whole reason Tommy showed up was because he was like, okay Oliver, you have to break your family cycle of violence, you can't kill Emiko, because Oliver has it in his head that he has to go and kill Emiko. And
why is Oliver still a killing at this point? Why?
It's just like I like the whole
the whole point of season 5's finale was to show that he shouldn't fucking kill, and he's still going around like, oh, I've got to kill fucking everyone. Like
Oliver, like even in this season has been like, oh, I can't turn my back on Emiko because then I'm just as bad as my father. Do you know what makes you worse than Robert? Actually killing her, ending her life. That makes it much worse. I mean, yeah, she won't be able to feel the feelings for that, but still she's going to be dead. So that's still not really much better, is it, Oliver, mate? I have to say, though, there was a moment my heart stopped when Diggle got shot.
Oh,
I actually, for a moment, I mean, later, like a few seconds after, and I realised when everyone else sort of was killed as well, I was like, okay, well, this is fake. But also I thought, well, he needs to adopt Connor, so it's not going to be... But for a moment, you know, I thought, oh my god, Diggle's dead. I was like, I was not prepared for this. I was not ready. And like, I just saw Diggle with like an arrow in his heart, and he was like not breathing. I was like, no, this is. And I was like, we're like so close to the end of the season. This could happen. This could be a Quentin situation going on right now. But luckily, Diggle is still alive and kicking, alive and digging. But I did come to realise, I was like, well, he still has to adopt Connor Hawke at this point, which is obviously going to happen next episode. But what even was the setup for this? Like, Emiko gets the weapon from SCPD lockup and then flies off like Cicada.
And it's like, you're going to kill me. No. And then she fucking runs off and then the episode ends.
Honestly, like, Arrow is normally pretty good with its finale setups, usually. It's usually pretty dead on, but this was really weak. Because I still have no idea, like, what the finale actually is about. It's just, obviously, Oliver and Emiko battling, and the fact they've made Emiko the main villain is such a bad idea. I don't know why they did this.
Because the character in the comics is not a fucking villain, yet the show's like, yeah, she turned him into a villain.
And the thing is, if Dante was still alive, I'd be fine with it, because I'd be like, it'd be obvious where it was going. He's pulling the strings, yeah. Yeah, and you'd be like, okay, well, in the finale, she's going to turn back, and, you know, she'll help them take down Dante. But ever since they killed Dante, it was just like, I was just like, okay, so she's the villain now. And I guess it's maybe like subverting expectations, but I mean, C. Shimuka, she's not that good.
No.
She's alright, but she's not like, she doesn't have the gravitas for this kind of villain role. Like, she's no Manu Bennett, you know.
No. No, she doesn't have that power or like command on screen.
No. Like, even Damien Dark was like, you know, really charismatic.
Yeah.
But she's just a bit, she's very one note.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that in the most monotone voice ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's very clear that she's just, I just don't think she's had the experience as an actress to be able to fully embody like this proper villainous role, especially for like what kind of a role it is. Like, you're the half brother of the main protagonist, like the half sister of the main protagonist, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Like they said, they couldn't have her involved with their half sister because she's not related. You know, they had to make any excuse possible to not bring Thea in.
We better see Thea next season, but like,
no, we're not going to see it.
Emiko, honestly, do you want to know what the problem with the back half of the season is? Because obviously, we said that like the season peaked way too early, which it did, and the thing is, this season has a massive problem, which I've come to realize. And we didn't realise this at the beginning of the season because it was so good. The individual episodes are good, but the overarching story is a mess.
Yep. Because why was Emiko dressed up as the Green Arrow in the first half of the season? Why? If the whole plan was to take down Oliver, what's the point? Because one, everybody knows who the Green Arrow is. If you're going around hooding up in a mask completely covering your face, everyone's just going to turn around and think, well, yeah, clearly this isn't Oliver because A, he's in jail, and B, he would have nothing to hide. And then it's like, even when Oliver gets out of jail, she's still fucking doing it whilst he's going around with no hood on. Like, honestly, I think, obviously, I would not be surprised if they did not plan out this season properly.
Yeah, it feels very much to me like the Flash Season 3 storyline, where they changed it halfway through, and you can clearly see it. Because, the story of and the character of Emiko in the first half of the season just doesn't line up with this back half. Like, she started off, like, say, being the new Green Arrow, helping people, going out there, you know, because not only was she, like, you know, going on her own mission to, you know, find her mother and what have you, but like she was helping people, and even the story with her mother didn't really come in until the back half, and they kind of tied that in to the Dante thing in the Ninth Circle. Like, basically, you know, Dante took her in and was like, okay, well, if you join the Ninth Circle, we'll help you find your mother's killer, even though it was Dante. So it's just like, it kind of feels pointless in that way. But it doesn't line up with the beginning of the season, like her being this hero and like, you know, helping the Glades, being a partner to Renee. You know, I thought they were going to go a lot more down that route, and they just haven't, and they've just changed her halfway through into this villain character, and it doesn't work. And the problem is, it's just like I say, the first half of the season was so strong episode wise. Like the prison arc was fantastic. Like, my god, I loved the prison. I missed the prison.
Can we just go back to that? Can Oliver just be stuck in
this
prison
whole
again?
season should have been the prison. I'm saying that now.
Oh, definitely.
This whole season should have been the prison. Like, the prison was so interesting. It was so different. It was so fresh. And, you know, it would... If they want to talk about budgets, this season's budget could have gone way down if you just would have stuck to the prison set. And, like, the best episode of the season comes from the prison arc as well, episode 7. I mean, that episode is, like a masterpiece. It's brilliant. You know, hats off to James Bamford. James Bamford is actually directing the finale as well, so that's nice to know. But then again, he directed episode 16. But yeah, this season is just... It's got really good episodes, but the overall story is just a mess, and that's the problem. That's the problem with season 7. And it's crazy. I thought like this season was going to be one of the best seasons. I mean, it's not one of the worst seasons. You know, it's not as bad as season 3 or 4. Or I'd say it's better than... I'd say it's quite a bit better than 6.
Yeah.
Do you think it's better than 5?
No.
I don't either.
Absolutely no chance. Like, 5's back half was so killer, and I still think that even with the episodes before the back half, it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first half of the season, I know my boy Paige is like, oh, it wasn't that good. Shut the fuck up, bro. It was good. It was very good.
It was pretty good.
It was pretty sick. It was sick. It was good. It's like with this, it's like during that, I guess, I don't know what you call it, but maybe like a bit of a down period, it's just been nowhere near as engaging. Nowhere near, because it's just been so messy from an overall season
like
script standpoint.
There was a bit of a down period in season 5, pretty much episode 10 to like 14. But then, even then, I still liked those episodes, and I still found them interesting. And then like episode 15, obviously the season just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Like episode 15 was obviously the Prometheus reveal, and from that point on, I mean, to be fair, Josh Segarra has recently been hospitalized for carrying season 5 all on his back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I still profess that I honestly believe without Josh Segarra, season 5 wouldn't have been as good as it was, because he was just absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, this season hasn't quite matched season 5.
Nah.
In
fact, should we just say as well, he's still hospitalized, not just for that. He fucking carried one of the best episodes of season 6 as well.
Yeah. Oh my god, can we please get Josh Segarra back before the show ends?
Can we please have him back for season 8, please?
Just like we brought Roy. I mean, Roy died and has come back. Like, that was announced off screen. Like, Roy died off screen and then has come back. Can we do that with Prometheus, please? Can we
just have come back for no reason?
Yeah, literally.
Just let it happen.
Even if you don't explain it, I don't care. Just bring him back.
If you can have Emiko randomly go from being the Green Arrow to wanting to destroy the Green Arrow's legacy, then surely you can bring back Prometheus.
Yeah. Oh, imagine in the crossover they like bring back like a Earth 2 like Prometheus, and it's Adrian Chase. Oh,
get in, boys.
Oh. I mean, I really want to see Prometheus. I don't think we will, but it'd be amazing if we did. Like, imagine in this episode. I mean, I don't want to like slate Tommy because I love Tommy, but imagine if he hallucinated Adrian again in this episode.
Yes,
that would have been amazing. That would have been so good.
Come on, Oliver, kill her.
Yeah.
Imagine if they had that. Yeah, like,
do you know what they should have done? Like a good conscience, bad conscience thing. Like the good conscience was Tommy in the back. Oh,
it would have been so good.
That would have been 10 out of 10 episode. That would have been.
We're writing this season 4.
We should write this. CW, if you want to give us a job to write season 8, we'll do it. We'll do it, boy. We've got no experience, but we'll do it. We're opinionated internet people. We are the best experience you will get. So yeah, not a great setup for the finale. But I have to say, I do like the promo for the finale a lot. So I am kind of excited to see how they are going to wrap it up. It just doesn't feel as exciting because the villain's just like, one, underdeveloped, and two, have come out very, very recently. So it doesn't feel like it's this big. It doesn't feel like it's this big event.
No,
because like the season 6 finale was like it felt much bigger. Like the season 5 finale was obviously like massive in scale.
Yeah.
Because and for all the seasons, because the villain is built up pretty much from the mid-season. But this, like, because the thing is with season 7 as well, we've had like 3 separate villains.
Yeah, because we had
Diaz in the first,
Diaz.
and then Dante, and now Emiko.
Yeah, it's just annoying. And as every episode passes, it just makes me realise we're not going to have Diaz back, and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, and that surprised me. And I know like Stephen Amell said like season 7 doesn't have a big bad, and I've seen a lot of people say that, you know, these shows shouldn't have like one villain and one story stretched out over multiple things, and I do agree with that. But the problem with season 7 is, while it has had 3 separate villains, which I think has spaced them out quite nicely,
they've not all been written to the same high standard,
and also the story has still been the same.
Yeah,
like, the story has still been stretched out over 22 episodes. They've just changed up the antagonist. They've just like changed up the specific character in the role. Like I say, because it started out as Diaz, and then it was Dante for a little bit, and now it's Emiko for the last few episodes, and it's like, okay. But anyway, we'll leave that there.
Yeah.
Depressing episode overall of On a Thy Podcast. A depressing one to come back to. But next week we do have the finales for Arrow and Flash, as well as the next episodes for Supergirl Legends. So we will obviously review all those next week, if we do. I'm making no promises here.
Yeah, we don't keep our promises, kid.
We really don't. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you share it around with any other DC fans who you think may enjoy this content. And as always, I've been Deck.
I've been Dan.
And we hope to see you guys again next week. Maybe.